There are 4 faculties and 13 study programs. Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Agriculture, Faculty of Economics and Business, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education. Diploma 3 of Aircraft Maintenance Technology and Diploma of Applied Smart City Information Systems are vocational programs under the Faculty of Engineering. And postgraduate program in Physical Education. Universitas Tunas Pembangunan Surakarta also provides a forum for students to channel their interests and talents through various student activity units. The generations of Universitas Tunas Pembangunan Surakarta champions has been proven by many achievements in sports, engineering, economics, and business as well as agriculture. To promote Merdeka Belajar Kampus Merdeka, the Independent Campus Freedom to Learn program, Universitas Tunas Pembangunan Surakarta has collaborated with more than 50 national and international partners in education, government, private sector, and organization. Universitas Tunas Pembangunan Surakarta has produced many outstanding graduates who have proven to be the champion generation throughout Indonesia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Winarti, Rektor UTP Surakarta. UTP sebagai salah satu institusi pendidikan dengan tagline Kampus Juara, senantiasa aktif mendorong mahasiswa untuk mengikuti kejuaraan di tingkat nasional maupun internasional. Hal ini telah dibuktikan dengan memenangkan berbagai kejuaraan, baik di bidang olahraga, teknik, ekonomi dan bisnis, serta pertanian. UTP memiliki slogan Program Belajar Tepat Waktu. Program ini bertujuan untuk memotivasi mahasiswa agar dapat menyelesaikan kuliah tepat waktu di bawah bimbingan para dosen yang handal dan berpengalaman, serta dilengkapi dengan sarana prasarana akademik yang memadai. Kami persiapkan lulusan yang kompeten, kompetitif, dan berkarakter sebagai tunas-tunas pembangunan bangsa. Jadilah generasi juara bersama UTP Surakarta. UTP Juara.
The spirit of Java describes how Solo has evolved into a dynamic city that is forward-thinking in all fields, including education. As one of the best private universities in Solo, Universitas Tunas Pembangunan Surakarta has a commitment to educate the nation as well as to develop champions' educations and character. Have you ever imagined yourself as a future champion? Be a champion with Universitas Tunas Pembangunan Surakarta.
Halo, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are so excited that we are start our event today. And first of all, the honor of our speakers for today, they are Mr. Harry from Louisiana State University, and then Mr. Irham from Gajah Mada University, and then Mr. Asmimat from University Teknologi Mara, Malaysia. And my name is Rama. I am going to be a moderator for today, and I am the moderator yesterday as well. And before we start, I want to say thank you for this event from the rector of Tunas Pembangunan University, and then I want to say thank you for every organizer for today. Thank you very much. And last but not least, I want to say thank you for every participant who attend this event. Thank you very much. We have so many rundown for today, but I'm so happy that we are starting from now. And the first main speaker is Professor Harry Utomo. He is from Louisiana State University, as you know, and he lives in America. And He is the master of finding the paddy rice because we have made some research about him. He was graduate from Brawijaya University in the 1983 for the major agricultural science and then minor agronomy and then master scholar of University of Kentucky, the major in agronomy, and then he was graduate from Louisiana State University in the PhD degree, and his major is agronomy and minor biotechnology in 1994. His specialization is rice maker, assisted breedings, molecular genetics, and plant genomics, custom Mars plant breeding and development. So he even has patent. The name is very complex. USPP 25 271 P3 title smooth. He has a patent. A very great man for today. Thank you. So please welcome Mr. Harry Utama. Hello, Mr. Harry. Hello. I can't hear your voice, so can you unmute your Zoom? Okay.
Sorry about that. Well, thank you for the nice introduction. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you very much, Mr. Harry. How are you today?
I'm doing just fine, thank you.
Are you now in United States or in Indonesia?
Just a second, I cannot hear you for some reason. Let me double check again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Are you living in United States or in Indonesia right now?
Oh, I'm at the in the United States right now.
Okay, in
I
Louisiana.
visited Indonesia last month,
Okay.
and I've been here for maybe 3 weeks now.
Okay. So you live near Mississippi River or not?
Oh, very much. I mean, it's all the LSU campus located near Mississippi River. When I say near, I mean like 5 kilometers.
Okay. Even I read about your university that it has a mascot. It's called Tiger from LSU.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's very famous with football team.
Yeah.
We won like 3 national championship in the past 20 years.
So besides teachings, can you play football, Mr. Harry?
Oh no, of course not. You have to be very tall, like 6 feet something, like in meter, like what 3 9, about 3 meters.
Okay. Thank you for the information. Okay, now, Mr. Harry, you can start your presentation, and the time is yours, please.
All right. I would like to switch to my computer because I need to share my presentation, and unfortunately my computer has a little problem with the camera, so you wouldn't see me, but I should be able to present without me in it. So just hang on for a few minutes, and I'll switch to my computer.
Okay, that's okay.
All right, I have to get out from here.
Maybe as we're waiting, I can tell participate about LSU University. And LSU University is founded in 1860 near Pineville, Louisiana, and under the name of Louisiana State Seminary of Learning and Military Academy. In 2021, the university enrolled over 28,000. Can you imagine 28,000 students? So much, isn't it? That is undergraduate and more than 4,500 graduate students. It is classified among number one of doctoral universities in United States. And this university has 1,500 academic staff. After that, this university has 5,000 administrative staff. It is located in Highland Road, Baton Rouge, and the notable alumni there are Shaquille O'Neal, former NBA star and living legend. Even the vice president is Herbert Humphrey. Okay. Have you finished, Mr. Professor Harry? Okay. We're still waiting for Mr. Harry fixing the technical problem of his computer. And once again, Mr. Harry Utomo has been visiting Tunas Pembangunan University for several times. The last time he visited in 18 June 2024, and he is an expert, once again, expert of agriculture. Even he has patent registered in United States. So we are so lucky that he is joining in our event.
Okay, I think I got it. The only problem is I need your permission to share the screen.
Okay.
From the host.
Okay, from the host, we already give you some
you did?
permission, yeah.
Okay, let's see. It says the host prohibit this.
Okay.
Host disable participant screen sharing. So I think you need to
maybe
kind of allow me to share.
Okay, please try one again, Mr. Haryutama.
Still disabled.
Still disabled?
Yeah.
Okay. Let my team check about that. So please wait for a while. Because the team still operate to accepting the trouble. Okay, can you try again? I'm sorry.
Still disabled.
Still disabled. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, please, Mr. Harry.
Okay, let's see.
I hope it works now. Okay, well done.
You got it? Okay, yeah. Let's see.
Okay, now you can start.
Right.
The time is yours.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you so much for inviting me to be in this conference. I truly appreciate it. I'm happy to be here, and of course, I love to share what I know to my audience if they would allow me to do. And this time, I would like to present the topic titled Achieving Sustainability with No Additional Environmental Burden Using Simple Genetic Change. I know this is kind of technical a little bit, but I would like to present it in a way using the layman terms so everyone will understand, hopefully. And if you have any question or anything, please don't hesitate to stop me anytime, okay? So I think we all know that the importance of the environment being climate resilient. This is a big topic right now anywhere in the world because we are experiencing a lot of changes in the weather pattern, including here in the United States. We have record high for many days now. We've never been in this situation before. So this reminder that our Earth, the only one in the universe so far that we know harbor life, is in changes. So that's why we need to do something with it. For sure, we have to be able to grow. Our population will grow no matter what, because we have a lot of capability to deal with the disease, food, and so on. So the population will grow even faster. On the other side of it, our Earth needs to be protected from being uninhabitable down the road. All of that will be very important because as a human being, we need to be well all the time to be able to enjoy life and living quality life. So this is something that we need to do overall. And in my part, as I try to present here, is to do something that we don't need to change how we do it, so that way there is no penalty to environmental effect of it, but we should be able to produce more food, more nutritious food, in stable and continuously increasing in the amount of food that we can provide to the world. So this is something that I would like to present today. So there are three basic, very basic strategy for sustainability, which is efficient resource use. Everybody know that because we're gonna use our resources, natural resources, in a way that we can use it again and again and again. Otherwise, if we neglect it, we will not be able to do it for the next year. So we need to do it because this is something that require for production purposes. And the second strategy would be renewable energy, meaning that we try to always transitioning into clean energy sources, because we know that the emission of CO2 and greenhouse gases has negative effect on the climate situation as we experience this year. And then the third one would be circular economy, meaning that minimize waste and promote recycling. All of this is very basic. There are so many strategies, but this is the basic one that I would like to share you today. So achieving sustainability is very essential for our thriving planet. Otherwise, we will lose it forever. When it's gone, I think it is nothing else that we can find as far as we can see in the universe. And as human, we are deserving to be well living in any situation in our life. So this is very important for us to be sticking into this plan, and everybody has their own share to contribute to the developing something that is sustainable. So this is what I would like to discuss. Is there anything that we can do with simple genetic change, but with a big impact? And the answer will be yes. There is a simple genetic mutation that can be applied to produce significant improvement in agricultural product and quality. This technology will offer a promising avenue for sustainable farming practices in the future. It has been in the past as well. So this mutation improves crop resilience, improve yield, and improve nutritional value without imposing any burden on the environment. This is the example of one single gene that was used in the past during the agriculture revolution, from changing from the tall plant into the semi-dwarf plant. So this is the example of one gene that can be used to dramatically change the plant to improve not only the appearance of the plant, but also the yield as a result of shortening plant into a semi-dwarf. It happened in rice as well as in wheat. So this is a very famous example. It has been part of the Green Revolution that significantly increased either rice and wheat production globally without requiring more land or more input. So this is something that we are looking forward in the future as well. If we could do something like this, repeat it again, because our population size will be increased substantially. Right now it's about 7 billion, and very soon it's going to be increasing even higher. So this is semi-dwarf. Oh, I need to do the previous one. Just hang on. So this is historically very important because this is part of the Green Revolution that we had before in the 40s, 60s. that dramatically boosted rice productivity globally. So it was like everybody thinking about limitation in human population at that time, but because of this gene, the green revolution become possible, and human can avoid it, could avoid worldwide starvation during population expansion because of this gene. So this is a good example of how single gene can boost, can increase the production without additional requirement to have more land or more input into the production. And of course, sustainability means a lot of things. So if we have production enough to feed the world, then the next question will be, would that be nutritionally enough, nutritionally sufficient for the whole world? So this is beside the volume, beside the quantity of the rice or wheat, for example. Would that wheat or rice nutritionally okay for all of us? So this is the next question that needs to be fulfilled for sustainability. And a lot of research has been poured into nutritional quality. One of them that I put it in here is high oleic acid in soybean. This is also a single mutation that replace the old quality into better quality, which has high oleic acid in soybean. So this is improve the fatty acid profile in soybean oil, make it more desirable for consumer and food manufacturers. This improvement achieved without altering cultivation practices or increase environmental burden. So this is, again, our focus is, can we change with quality without changing the requirement to the environment burden? So this is another example that, yes, we can do that. And the next one is pest and disease resistant. This is also simple gene that can be used to modify the plant to be more resistant to diseases. I put the example in here is blight-resistant potato. So with a very simple gene, again, we can change the characteristic of the plant, like potato in this case, to be resistant to pathogen Phytophthora infestan. If you recall, this disease has a big impact on world famine in the Europe at that time. A lot of people died because of that, because there is no potato to eat at that time, or maybe I should say limited quantity of potato that can be served to people. So a lot of people are starved and died because of that. And then researcher do the genetic changes in the plant to become blight-resistant potato. And with this resistance, there is no need to spray fungicide. And because of that, it will lower environmental pollution, and the production cost will be less because of that. So this is another example with simple genetic changes, a big thing can be done. Another real world example is that in rice, for example, we were successful to enhance photosynthesis. In this case, mutation can be induced in gene associated with Calvin cycle that will improve the photosynthesis efficiency in rice. The impact would be increased biomass and grain yield, meeting food demand without expanding agricultural land. In tomato, for example, the researcher also successfully extend shelf life of tomato. With these changes, the gene that controlling fruit ripening create tomato with a longer shelf life, meaning that it can stay in the room temperature for a lot longer. So the supermarket or the seller can display it in the room temperature and therefore food waste and longer transport distances become possible. In this case, the extended shelf life is very beneficial to prolong the use of tomato by the consumer. Again, this is demonstrate that simple gene can be used to change the thing that without any additional environmental burden. The next one would be salt-tolerant barley. As we know it, there is a lot of problem with salinity in the soil as we use a lot of water, groundwater, and creating salt water from the sea to be moving into the land. So the cultivation area become contaminated with salt. And again, in here, we demonstrate that single mutation with simple gene can change the barley in this case and rice to become salt tolerant. And because of that new property, the rice or barley can be planted in the soil that has a problem with salinity. Again, this is something that scientists can do to improve productivity without burden, without more burden in the environment. The environmental benefit would be, of course, with my focus discussion in here is to reduce chemical use. And with the other benefit would be the efficient use of resources. So mutation can enhance growth rate and or photosynthetic efficiency, allow crop to produce more with the same or fewer input, conserving resources like water and fertilizer. So again, not only economically beneficial, but also environmentally beneficial as well. In addition to that, it's very important one, the critical issue that we are discussing all the time is greenhouse gas emission. Again, since we don't put more burden in the environment because we use the same resources, the same soil, and the same amount of water, but with improved production, so it will technically lower greenhouse gas emission as we try to fulfill the demand for increasing demand for food around the world. So this is something that everybody need to be aware of and try to together to lower greenhouse gas emission. Now I would like to give you all my real example in my research that demonstrate how this simple gene can be used to increase the quality of rice without adding any input like fertilizer or any or maybe the resources, other resources as well. So my focus of research was to develop low glycemic index rice and high protein rice altogether in one variety. And why is it important? As if we look at the map of the world regarding the diabetes occurrence around the world, this is a very widespread problem and one of the top 5 world problems as FAO determined in their document. Indonesia has like 10.7 million to be diabetic, and China is about 11 times more than that. It's 160 million people. Mexico is about the same, and United States, it's 3 times than approximately than Indonesian in diabetes. So this is a very important disease that need to be overcome, and that's why low GI rice is very important in this consideration. Why is it important to control the diabetes? Because first, if you don't control diabetes, you will have like cardiovascular disease, it can cause nerve damage, neuropathy, or kidney damage, diabetic neuropathy, or kidney failure. You will have blood vessel damage in your eyes that can cause blindness, and also food problem caused by nerve damage and poor blood circulation, leading to infection and food amputation. You may lose your food for that, and then issue with the bones and joint, and infection in teeth and gums. So this is very serious consequences of having diabetes in us. So we need to control all that. So since we are heavily consume rice, and rice, unfortunately, conventionally has high GI value of about 73. So GI is something that is very critical to see how this rice to be digested in our stomach and relate to the blood glucose concentration as after we consume rice. So with the high GI value of 733, as you can see in here in the graph, I pointed here. So once we done consuming rice, immediately our blood glucose level increase very sharply because it has the high GI value. So in a way that is more than a normal range. So for the healthy people, it is not a problem at all because they can produce insulin in the blood, and removing all the blood glucose become energy, and they need to do it, insulin to be produced so much to be able to stabilize it. Otherwise, as we discussed it before, it will dangerous if it is stay in the blood for many hours. So our body will react to it and remove it as soon as possible. But again, because so many insulin produced, it will not immediately disappear. It will take time to disappear from our blood. As a result, they will hang out for some time and keep removing blood glucose until finally pressing down in here below the normal at the lowest level in here. So the blood glucose level need to be maintained in certain range. It's not too high, but it's not too low. If it's too low, our body become trembling, feeling like want to eat again because we feel like weak after we eat rice. So that's what we feel because it has high GI value there. So again, this is something that that's happened to our body when we consume rice with high GI value. Now, this is the invention that I and my team come up with. So there are two crucial qualities that we were able to come up with. The first one is low GI index, and the second one is higher protein content. So there are two components in this product that is beneficial for people with diabetes and also people with obesity as well as malnutrition problem. So this is what we have. I mean, this is recall the if you remember the chart for regular rice, which is like spike very quickly and then crashing down for a number of hours. And this is our new rice. So it will not create a high peak of spike. It will normalize it in here and stay longer in the blood, meaning that we feel much stronger for extended period of time. So because there is no sugar spike, there is no need to have insulin for people with diabetes, and allowing them to skip medication and save some money for that. and also become stable. And in the past, if you have diabetes, doctor will say, don't eat rice. And now, doctor can say, yes, you can eat this rice as long as you eat it normally. So you cannot eat after you feel safe. You cannot double it because it will create the same problem in here. As long as you eat normally, it will be helping you to avoid not taking insulin and to have more stable glucose spike for a long time, and you feel a lot stronger for a longer period of time. So this is something that we can produce the new rice without adding anything, without changing environmental burden to it. So low GI rice means that rice is digested slowly and helping to stabilize blood glucose level, and very safe to people with diabetes. Because of that, it will reduce the insulin resistant risk, and this is particularly important for with diabetes and people, and that is also important for people who manage their weight. This is in the market already. This is the label of the product that we put forward for the consumer. So it has protein content 53 more than normal rice. It has a low GI index of 41. Remember that normal rice has 73, and this rice has GI of 41, very low. Like in Indonesia, Louisiana people love to eat rice. And this is the rice that they serve etouffee, and then fried rice, jambalaya, of course, the name is jambalaya, and rice served with the cuisine that they have. This is Michael Fruge, a person who managed the high protein, low GI rice and marketed in many outlets, including the supermarket in the US. Technically, this is what we initially end up with. So as the scientists who develop it, we release this variety as frontier, and then we register it. This is the register of it, CV150 PI, plant introduction number 67479694, and then with the plant varietal protection number 2015000310. And then after that, we patented in US PTO, Patent Trademark Office, and the number is 14-943,177 in February 2018. Once we patent this product, and then we release it, and then we license it to the company. This is non-GMO rice. So this is non-GMO. And we are still working on a new version of it as we speak. This is some of the one of the publication invention about low GI rice that has a GI level of 41 and protein content of 11%. So if we compare this variety, it has like 5% protein improvement. So without adding anything, we can harvest about 200 kilogram of, let me go back, 200 kilogram of pure protein from the same field. Okay, so this is one example that without changing anything, without burden more into the environment, we can have extra protein, pure protein, approximately 200 kilogram per hectare. The 200 kilogram per hectare, if we convert it to beef, equal to 500 kilogram of beef. So, but just by doing planting this one, we have an extra meat for equivalent to 500 kilogram of meat. Imagine that. So it's a lot of improvement there. This is the field situation when we test in the field. This is the PY plot that we use for yield experiment and verification. And this is a new one that we are working on. This is at the maturity level, about to harvest. This is the frontier foundation seed that was prepared for commercial production after this foundation seed. This is the commercial production using the combine, multiple of them, and now we are approaching about 280 hectares of rice production commercially. Just to show you a little bit how we process our rice in here using machinery. This is at harvest time when we collect the final product. We use also the airplane to spray or to fertilize as usual. So we can do it, fertilize 1 hectare for 50 seconds. So it's very fast. This is the other company dealing with the product that we have. The name is Cahokia. It is located in Illinois. So they have their own brand, their own distribution channel, but using the same rice. So you might ask me how long it took to develop this rice. It took like 7 years to develop this rice. It's a long and slow process because we started out with the lab-based research in here, and then going to the field, and then patent releases, and then commercial production, and then go to regional marketing. And now we, like I said in here, still working on export market. So it's still ongoing process. So we are good now. We are improving very much, but it's not nearly enough to make a significant impact in the world. So we were working on that. This is the lab that we have. Pak Sulis, we've been in here in our lab. So this is common equipment. I think UTP can do it. This is nothing fancy about it. It can be done in any lab in Indonesia. So we use simple equipment to do our research. It is now available in 500 stores. So, but still, like I said, even this 500 is still very small to make a good impact. So we are working on it expanding. When you type it in, where you can find the rice, this is what you can find in Google. So it will produce a location where you can find the rice. Now, I mentioned about the world problem with diabetes. In the US, this is also very problematic as well. Is every year, the US spend like $327 billion. So it's a lot of money there. So if we can cut it down, maybe 10% of it, it will be a significant amount of money to be saved already. So this is what we are working on. We are working with the NIH and other agency to make this happen. Now let me switch to the second characteristic in the rice. It is a higher protein content. With the higher protein content, it will promote satiety, meaning that you will feel a fullness for a longer period of time. So you don't need to munchy. You don't need to snacking. That make you gain weight very quickly. And then with the protein extra, it will support muscle maintenance and growth, contributing to overall metabolic health. So it will be helpful. It's good for athletes. It's good for regular people like me and you. So it is very beneficial. And then it will also become sustainable way for tackling malnutrition within vulnerable communities in the region or even the world. that is widespread, impacting over 400 million people around the world. This is something that I'm still trying to. That's why I'm coming to Indonesia to introduce this one. Hopefully, one day people will adopt this rice and become impactful for many people who need this product. This is the picture of malnutrition at the world level. This is very serious, one of the most serious problem in the world. And I think we had a problem last time. Several years ago, I went to Papua to do the stunting alleviation problem. So I still remember that. So we still have problem, and a lot of problem also in other other countries. So this is widespread, and hopefully this type of product can be used to improve the situation. Okay, so now come to conclusion. Hopefully I didn't stay longer than I supposed to. So again, I would like to emphasize that simple genetic mutation can offer a very powerful tool for enhancing agricultural production and quality of life while safeguarding the environment. So this is some example how we can do all this together with a simple genetic mutation. And the second conclusion would be by leveraging natural and induced mutation, we can develop crop and livestock varieties that are more resilient, more productive, and more nutritious. So it will be very useful for producing or developing sustainable and secure food in the future. So this is something that I would like to share with everyone in here. Hopefully, some of you interested in improving this one further to call for better improvement and some leveraging into the common problem that happen in Indonesia as well as around the world. With that, I would like to conclude my presentation and be glad to answer any question that you may have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hari. And wow, it was so amazing about your presentation. So I just knew that you can make a connection between real world from real varieties with enhanced photosynthesis and then connection to diabetes in the world. After that, you make an invention about low glycemic rice. Wow, or rice or paddy. Wow, that's very, very great. Okay, if any participant want to ask about something to Mr. Hari, so you can raise your hand in the Zoom or you can chat in the column of the chat. Okay, please. If any of you. Okay, that is from Mr. Sulis. Okay.
Thank you. Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mr.
Yeah,
Sulis.
yeah, I can hear.
Thank you. Good
Silakan.
evening, Professor Harry. It's nice to
Good
meet
evening.
you again.
Good morning there, right?
Good morning in Indonesia, but I think it's better in Louisiana.
That's right. Thank you for that. You
Okay,
still remember.
I will ask about is pathogenic plant because this is my field. How about the pathogenic plant in low glycemic acid rice, like from pathogenic from fungus like Phytophthora infestan or potatoes, maybe Rhizoctona solanae from rice, and how can we make deal it if we use without fungicide? Because I think you use the reduced chemical use, and then after that can be applied on the other plant, maybe tomatoes, maybe and the other plant. I think this is more important in sustainable agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. I think that's very important. One of the sustainability and environmentally friendly approach would be to control the disease by genetic.
Yes.
So that way you can avoid the spray or additional fungicide that harmful sometime in the environment, to the environment. So if we can do that, that would be like a very good plus over there.
Yes.
And fortunately, many plant diseases also associated with simple gene. For example, blast. There are several blast-resistant genes, of course, but fortunately, there are major blast gene for that. So if you can do a simple one, you will have reasonably good resistance to blast, for example, in rice. And the same thing with Phytophthora in potato or in tomato. So I think it is also simple. If not one gene, maybe only one, maybe 2 or 3, which is achievable. And your question was, am I interested in incorporating blast-resistant gene in my invention? Yes, I am. So if we can put all together in one plant, so that way we can not only produce high protein, low GI, but it's also resistant to blast. Right now, the blast is moderately resistant, but we can put like PITA2 gene, which is major blast gene, which is only single gene. We can back cross it to get it, that gene transferred to the new rice that we have, and then we'll and after maybe 6 or 7 back crossing, we expect that that gene can integrate well with the new rice that we have. I think that's a good idea.
Yes, thank you, sir. Because I think pathogen on the plant is have so many host plant. I
Yes.
think Phytophthora solani is only attack on the rice. That is attack potatoes, maybe tomato, and even in a cotton, it can use it. I think you can apply it in the other plant. Thank you
Yes,
very
you
much,
can.
sir.
Yes, you can, especially in Indonesia when we only have like one season, okay, like rainy or just drought, right? So you have like overlapping generation, and your host plant is also more available every time, every year. So this is very crucial in tropical region to have incorporate a lot of different gene into a single variety of rice, for example, to be able to avoid or to bypass the necessity for spraying herbicide or spraying fungicide. I think that's even more important in Indonesia. Fortunately, in here we have 4 seasons. So during the fall and winter, everything died, but it is come back after that. So it will cut the cycle of growth for the diseases or even the host. So that will make it a little bit easier for us here to manage the disease resistance. So this is something that we have differences between here and Indonesia.
Yes, thank you. I think that's
I
enough,
hope
sir.
I answer you well, hopefully.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sulis, for your question. And now we have another question, Mr. Harry. This is from Mutiara.
Okay.
She asked, thank you, Prof. Harry, for the sharing presentation. Like you mentioned before, when we carry out genetic engineering such as gene modified to improve agricultural products, the result can produce healthier products. However, in Indonesia, bioengineering products have poor consumer preference because of the many negative issues regarding these products. What about consumers in Louisiana State? Do you have the same problems, or are bioengineered products even more popular?
Well, we have the same sentiment. I said sentiment about the GMO. So in rice, there is no GMO rice can be sold. So they don't want GMO to be around in the market. So just like in Indonesia, there is no market for GMO rice. So this product is not GMO. This is mutational material that we mutate normally, just like conventional mutation study. So this is not GMO. So yes, GMO can has a lot of impact if because it's so precise to change a lot of things with single changes that create a lot of product. But as you mentioned, I agree with you that in Indonesia there is a problem with accepting GMO. And as you know, maybe you need to know that in the US is also the same thing. They are not accepting the GMO. So I mentioned before that this invention is not a GMO.
Okay, okay, I get it. So it is the price much more expensive from the other products.
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay, okay.
Unfortunately.
Mm.
So, but this is not my decision. This is the business decision in here. I protest them one time before, and I said, "Hey, why is it so expensive? This is like 7 or 8 times more expensive than regular rice." And they said, "Hey, this is marketing. You have to follow a strategy of marketing, how the market behave. If you put it in just like regular rice, nobody will bother. Nobody will care because this is not special anymore. This is something special." And they put it out, and they're right. This is something special. People just flock in and buy. And now the question would be, I mean, if you are from if we are from Indonesia and buy this one, I don't think you want it because it is too expensive. If you are in here working as an American worker, you still want to buy because this is relatively, it's expensive, but it's not way expensive. Maybe 1.5 times more expensive than the other product. So it's not like 7 times higher than regular product. So, and I talked to several different company interested in this product in Indonesia. And I told Bob Butcher is the person who managing this one. And hey, Bob, could you give them Indonesian price? And he said, yes, I can do it. If they were in book. If they so the company researching the potential marketing in the supermarket around Jakarta at the time, and he said, "Hey, I still can make money for it with Indonesian price. Unfortunately, they don't have the permit for import, so it was everything. It was good, but Indonesian government doesn't allow to import this rice."
Yeah.
So if one day this thing can be marketed in Indonesia, don't worry, the price will be lower.
Okay. However, I believe that there is a price, there's a quality, because your invention made a healthier patty rice. So I think there is a market that will buy your product. I believe it's so.
That's what we argue.
Okay.
So you don't need to buy insulin anymore. Insulin is kind of expensive, and you can when you eat rice. And the second one, you can eat rice, because if you are diabetes, you are not allowed to eat rice. And the price for eating rice, if we are the rice eater, you can feel it. If I don't eat rice, I don't eat yet. So this is priceless. So imagine that it is something that is marketable. I guess that's why my friend told me, hey, this is marketable in Jakarta or Indonesia. The same thing in here. Why people are still buying that one? Because it is replacing insulin, so they don't need to buy insulin. In return, they buy a little bit more expensive than normal rice, but still a lot cheaper than you take medication.
Okay. Thank you for your presentation, Mr. Heriutomo. It's so amazing. A new knowledge for me, so maybe also for participant because it's very, very good. Okay. From the last thing, do you have
Thank you.
a closing remarks for our event for today?
From me?
Yeah, closing remarks. I mean, do you
Closing
want to
remark?
say? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like again to thank you for the committee who invited me here. I'm really happy to share this knowledge to you all, and I appreciate your joining in this conference. And I hope my presentation can make a little to understand this situation better for you. But that simple changes in genetic can have a significant impact both in yield, in quality of product, and less burden to the environment. This is something that we need to put in mind as we go through the climate change and all kind of changes associated with the greenhouse uh, gas effect to the atmosphere. So we need to be cognizant, to be aware of that, and be a patriot, be a defender of environmental uh, sector of it. But we cannot just protect. We need to grow too, to grow the product, to grow the amount of product, to grow the nutrition and stuff like that. So we are not just protecting, but moving forward, because like it or not, our population, world population, will become more and more as we can tackle diseases, a lot of good stuff in the world that people would grow like crazy, and we need to address all that. And we did it during the Green Revolution, and we can do it again in the future if we put our mind together. That's my conclusion remark.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Professor Heri Utomo. Don't forget that we organize this event every year. Maybe next year, always main speaker from Louisiana State University every year, maybe. Thank you very much, Mr. Heri Utomo. See you.
Thank
again.
you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, for this event, we are continue to the next schedule. And after this, we have Professor Dr. Irham, Magister Science from Gajah Mada University. But before we are going to call him, we are have a little bit songs for you. Okay. Okay, we are still waiting. Hello, Mr. Irham. Hello. Good morning. Okay, as we waiting for Mr. Irham, maybe I can tell you about.
Can you hear my voice?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear my voice?
I can hear your voice, but a little bit echo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello. Now can you hear my voice?
Still bouncing, to be honest. Maybe can you set up your voice a little bit? Okay. As we waiting for him, Mr. Rihan is from Gajah Mada University. He is the expert in his section, so we are happy that he is attending this event as well. And don't forget that after this, at the after break session in the 12:30, there are second parallel session when we have several little Zoom, so you can join that Zoom. So you must present your paper, because every paper that submit here must be presented even though online. And after that, we will choose the best presenter and the best paper from you. We have some overseas participants. They are from Malaysia and then Kenya and Indonesia. Mass. Okay, we are.
Hello, hello. Can you hear my voice? Huh?
Okay, I can hear your voice, Mr. Irham. Hello.
But I'm sorry that I couldn't open my camera because it's some problem here.
Okay. How are you today?
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can I start my presentations?
Okay. You can start from now. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Irham.
Let me share screen.
Okay, can you share your screen? Okay, this our team still trying our best. Okay. Yeah. You can start, Mr. Irham.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me share my views.
Can you put okay? Can you put better voice?
Yes, hello?
Okay, okay, that's okay. Yeah. Okay, you can continue, Mr. Irham.
Is it okay now? So the title of my presentation is regarding talent successions in rural areas, bridging economy, education, technology, and environment in the UK era. First of all, I would like to start my presentation with the economic and the rural conditions. With the very first questions, whether farmer succession is the key or not, because for the time being that the issue of farmer successions is so critical in addressing economic and environmental disparities in agricultural sector. So to answer these questions, let me start with another questions. In which way farmer successions can help in bridging economic and environmental gaps in rural areas. So I present some data based on our research from the farmers' perceptions in relation to how they increase income and welfare. So the first thing is how farmer successions can bridge the economy conditions in the rural area. Based on our research that there are some succession impact. We can divide it into two parts. One, those are that need maintaining and improving, and then those are need solutions. So the yellow parts is some aspects that need to be maintained and to be improved. One is we need to increase yield and productivity. So the farmers respond to us that increased yield and productivity becomes one of the key issues. And then applications of modern agricultural technology, since this time the dynamics of digital transformations becomes so big issues, including in the rural areas. And then access wider markets. If we can improve our yield and productivity, then the productions will also increase. So we need a wider market to sell the products of the farmers. And then another response is that the rural areas need agricultural product diversification. So not only grow rice, for example, but also other products that market needs to be consumed. This is the yellow part that we need to be maintained and improve. And then the second part is the part that we need solutions like agro-tourism development to give added value to the rural products, and then increase access to capital and funding, and then strengthening institutions and farmer networks, because once the digital transformation is done, it's carried out in rural areas, then we need to strengthen institutions and farmer networks. And then increasing skills and knowledge of farmers, because that digital transformations also means that we also should transform the knowledge of the farmers, right? And then increase cooperations and collaboration between farmers. Why? Because digital transformation cannot be done alone. We need collaborations, we need sharing information among the farmers, etc., etc. And then strengthening the bargaining positions of farmers in relation to the value chains, not only the product chain, but also more importantly is the value chain. This is related to the bridging economy. The second one is related to the sustainable rural development. So if we need to, that farmer successions provide impacts on encouraging sustainable development. As the previous table, we can divide it into two parts. One is the thing that we need to maintain and improve, and then the other part is solutions. The first thing, the first impact is improving the rural economy. So when farmer successions goes well, then it will improve the rural economy. So from now on, we need to think how succession can be successful to be carried out. And then creating new jobs, because new young farmers has productivity and then more flexibility, better in skills and knowledge, and then increasing access to infrastructure. So when this succession is carried out, and then it needs to increase access to infrastructure, and then improving the quality of education and health. Because farmer successions, when they have to be faced out of facing with the digital transformations, then we need to improve their quality of educations, even though it's not just formal education, but you can do it in more informal educations. And then preserving local culture and traditions is also important. and then developing agrotourism and ecotourism. So those are the response of the farmers in relation to the farmer successions. When we want to make a kind of digital transformations in the rural areas. And then we also need to increase youth participations in the in village development. So the role of the village head, village headman,
Hello, Mr. Irham. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Your PowerPoint is not changed to another slide. So can you change?
Oh, it doesn't move?
Yeah, it doesn't move. It is freeze only in the cover. Nah, okay, it is changed now.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Thank you very much. You can continue.
So can we continue? Yeah. The next is strengthening village institutions to digital transformation. Of course, is to strengthen the institutions in the village area, and then increasing access to information and communication technology. So farmer successions cannot stand alone. So it should be encouraged with other aspects like what we said before, plus the impact of the successions, right? And then the next one, that farmer successions can be a bridging to the environment, to a better environmental conditions, like, for example, preserving and restoring agricultural ecosystem. How the young farmers respond to the successions in relations to the environment. First of all is the implementations of sustainable agricultural practices. So if succession is carried out, then there should be implementations of sustainable agricultural practices. And then the reductions in the use of the fertilizers and chemical pesticides, because farmers has been well trained in preserving and restoring agricultural ecosystems. Of course, sustainable water and soil management is needed, and then planting trees and protective plants in the rural areas also one of the impacts of the farmer successions. And biodiversity conservation, and then use of organic fertilizers and compost. And then, of course, we need to promote minimum tillage practices to the farmers, especially to the young farmers when farmer succession took place. And then the next one, farmer successions also impacting in increasing food security and adaptations to climate change. Why? Because once the farmer succession is carried out, and then we need to promote diversifications of food crops to the young farmers, and then implementations of proper farming practices, use of pest and disease resistant plant varieties, and then efficient water management, and then water conservation. Just recently, some days ago, I went one of the village called Ciherang in the West Java province, and to be exact, in the Bandung district, and we, communicate with the farmers there who practices what we call collection systems of the rice. And maybe next opportunity we can discuss about that. And the next one is development of an integrated agricultural systems, and then applications of precision agriculture technology, which is now getting popular in our country, and then establishment of village brands. The next one is development of food reserves. So when farmer succession is carried out, and then it will increase food security, and as well as adaptations to climate change, because the farmers already practice kind of more sustainable agricultural system. And then, what is the solutions to the economic problem? As I mentioned before, there are so many solutions, but I summarize from the response of the farmers. One is improving access to capital and funding, because as we all know that capital becomes one of the big problems in this area, especially to the farmers. And then strengthening institutions and farmer networks, increasing skills and knowledge of young farmers is very important, cooperation among farmers, and then reinforcing their bargaining positions, especially in the value chain, and then promoting minimum tillage. I said before that the farmers in the West Java has been practicing minimum tillage, and then also they practiced what we call the ratoon system of the rice, and then rehabilitations of degraded land, because if you come to the village areas, not only around Central Java and West Java, also in Jakarta, there's some vacant land that no one utilized the land. And then the second theme in relations to the farmer's succession is green education, the importance of green education in rural area. The question is regarding the challenges and opportunities, how to implement green education for young farmers. This is a big challenge, but at the same time also opportunities for us to make better agricultural systems in the rural areas. Let us start with challenges. How to integrate the green educations on young farmers? One is green technology. This is the challenge. Why? Because green technology is expensive. This is according to the farmers. And then lack of motivations. Why? Because it needs more educational training for the farmers. And then, of course, lack of awareness. But also there are some supporting parts in the rural area, such as traditional attitude and values that we need to maintain also. And then resource limitations. So the resource limitations also become big tellers for us. And then the second thing is opportunities. So we still have opportunities to integrate green education on young farmers. The first thing is, the first opportunity is consumer demand for green products, which is now increasing trend for the consumers to consume the green products. And then youth interest in the environment. Yeah, as I did survey in many places that youth farmers now become interesting in the environmental aspects, in the environmental issue for their farmland. And then partnership with experienced farmers, which is now still lack in rural areas. So, the successes of not only in terms of the persons in the rural areas, but also in terms of knowledge, how to, deliver the knowledge of the old farmers to the young farmers is very important. And then financial institutional support. As we now have a kind of rural, what we call it, rural fund, which is, big in amount. And we can also propose to the village government to give some parts of the funding, the rural funding from the central government to finance the institutional support for the young farmers, especially for those who join in groups like young farmers group, for example. And then development of youth networks is also opportunities to improve the rural, better rural conditions. The next questions: how young farmers respond to green education strategies? This is also based on our research in 3 different districts. One is in Yogyakarta, one is in Central Java, in Boyolali, and then one is in East Java. And according to the young farmers, that we need to embed sustainable strategies through education, through youth farming education. And we, ask them to respond to our to some attributes that are related to sustainable strategies, like formations of study groups. So the young farmers respond to highly responded to the importance of formation of study group among them, and then green training, and then development of institutional capacity of young farmers. And then also this is sometimes ignored by local government, for example, field visits to other successful farmers, even to their neighborhood, not only to those in the for example, different district or different sub-district, but also in the nearest successful farmers. Of course, this needs a kind of network, as I said before. And then green business incubation. Last year I had such kinds of business incubation and successful business incubation in Malaysia, Malaysian farmers, and the growth of the economy in that village is very substantial because they can, develop such kind of green business incubations, including agro-tourism development and then research partnership. Of course, research, in this case, research means how the farmers can improve to the implementations of scientific way of doing farming. Not only refers to the research in the university, for example. And then green competitions. So we need young farmers to, to compete with each other in adapting, in implementing the green practices of the farming. And then the third question is, how do young farmers address negative responses to implementations of green education strategies? Then they give some, response to us from conducting competitions evaluations, fair competition design, building the capacity of farming young farmers, ensure immediate benefits, and then provide constructive feedback, and then sharing research results widely among the young farmers. So the participations of the scientists from or experts from the universities is very needed in implementing this kind of strategies demanded from the young farmers. And the solutions for green educations, green education problems, we propose three recommendations. One is developing practical programs that reduce the cost of green technology through subsidies or financial incentives to enhance green education among young farmers. Education, of course, needs fund, but practicing green technology needs funds through subsidy. To reduce costs, right? Because the farmers doesn't have enough funding for doing themselves. So it needs subsidies, for example, from the local village government or even from the district government. And then increasing motivations by showcasing successful of young farmers and creating a supportive community. And then the third one, raising awareness through targeted education campaigns and hands-on training sessions for them, for the young farmers. Is it only for the young farmers? Of course not. So the old farmers also need to be involved in such kind of training. The third issue is digital transformations, local wisdom, and young farmers in facing the future reality. how does digital transformation impact on young farmers who are facing UK nowadays? There are some positive impacts of digital transformations according to them. One is increased access to information and knowledge. So improving the young farmers' knowledge through digital transformations now becomes a must. And then making the products more accessible to market. For example, through packaging, through better quality, through standardization, etc. And then increase efficiency and productivity, of course, by having, by using digital platform, and efficiency and productivity can be increased. And then expanding access to financial markets and opportunities, of course, not only to the banks, but also any philanthropy people that available for them. And then improve the ability to adapt to climate change and other farming risks, agricultural risks. And improve well-being, last but not least, is improving well-being and quality of life of the farmers. So this is, of course, the intensity of all those impacts is not the same. That's why we put some rank according to the percentage of the farmers who responded to our statement or questions for them. And then the highest percentage is that digital transformation can increase access to information, knowledge. And last but not least is improve well-being and quality of life with a very low percentage, of course. And then the next issue is how can local wisdom be integrated into digital transformations to support young farmers? The answer also comes from the farmers. The highest percentage is, according to them, is that local wisdom as essential capital must be maintained, although still open to technological innovations. So not totally closed the technological innovations. They still need innovation. They think or they share that technological innovations is also as important as maintaining the local system. Why? Because according to them, local wisdom can be a shield. Shield means in Indonesian term is tameng for the farmers in dealing with digital agricultural digital transformation competition, not only among the farmers in the village or in the district or even in the country, but also with the farmers of different countries, foreign countries. So we have to, the farmers should compete with the farmers in Thailand, in Vietnam, in Malaysia, etc., etc. But they said that digital transformation should maintain, at the same time, should also maintain the local wisdom values. Why? It is not to lose agricultural culture identity, farming culture identity of the farmers, not only the old farmers, but also the young farmers. And then agricultural sustainability requires adaptations of local wisdom as the foundation for long-term success. And they also responded as there needs to be training for them in applying local wisdom to the digital technology. The next issue, what strategies to empower young farmers in nowadays era, while preserving local wisdom that it is not easy to preserve. According to the farmers, training on creating locally agricultural-based video content is one of the answers that they given to us. And then use of incentive-based sustainable agricultural applications. Of course, in this case, we need some subsidies. Digital technology skill training, and then empowerment through partnerships with local wisdom agricultural startups. Last week, as I said before, that I went to West Java, and I asked some people from the startup companies, especially those are related to the digital transformations, and then we met the farmers there. And then I asked the startup people to, create some technology in supporting the startup systems of the farmers' practice in West Java. And then business mentoring programs in utilizing local resources, any local resources, including, human capital, including any resources in the village. It should be optimized in increasing the people's welfare in the rural areas. We propose some solutions on technology problems, like number one, providing incentives such as workshops on creating agricultural-based video content, introducing incentive-based sustainable agricultural applications, digital skills training to empower young farmers while maintaining local communities' wisdom. And then we also suggested that agricultural institutions to work together with local communities to build specialized digital platforms highlighting local agricultural methods, because different village must be must have different farming practices. Different farming practices need different methods. Different methods need different digital transformations, applications. And then, according to the farmer, sharing success stories also important, and encouraging learning between young farmers. And then the last solution is incorporating mentorship programs that concentrate on agricultural practices and digital skills to improve young farmers' flexibility in facing UK volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for your presentation, Mr. Ilham. It is so interesting that we are concerned about wisdom and green education for young people. But there is some problem here, maybe in Indonesia. So, because I live here, so I have a friend that he is a son of a farmer, but at the end, he preferred to choose working in big company rather than in the rice field. What do you think about that, Mr. Irham?
We should be underestimated to the farmers, especially to the young farmers, because based on our experience through research, through our field survey, so not only so, too many innovations in rural areas that they are created, but we don't know. So this is kind of warning to the lecturers in the university, to the scientists in the university, to come to see the villages, and then we can witness that so many innovations in the village areas. Okay, so we should not be underestimated to the farmers, especially to the young farmers. And the farmers that we met in the West Java, even not young farmers, they're already old farmers, but they can deliver, some innovation to the neighboring farmers, to practice what they think is the most productive farming system. I can tell you that the yields or the productivity of the rice in that village in one harvest, 14 tons per hectare. And then they can harvest 5 times a year through ratoon systems. Just like in the, systems of sugarcane. So if you learn about the sugarcane farming, you can learn about the ratoon systems. And then this kind of system is also implemented in the rice farming. And then we can harvest with the productivity of not less than 14 tons per hectare for the first planting, and then for the second planting, which is the ratoon, the second, the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, not so different with the first harvest productivity. Let's say about around 10 to 12 tons per hectare. So if we sum up, if we combine all those harvests for 1 year, then we can take, let's say, 50 tons per hectare in a year, which is, according to me, is very spectacular. And then this time I send my assistants to that village to do some survey, to collect data from one farmer to another farmer, which is now around according to the farmer's head there. There are around 80 to 100 farmers that practice that kind of system. And then after collecting the data, and then I will, I will input those data into the digital applications that I have been made. We call it Petani Gama. It's a kind of application that's friendly user, because we can input those data into by using a handphone. So it's a kind of handphone-based applications, and then we will send some agronomists and pathologists and etc. to those villages.
Yeah.
I hope I answered your questions.
Yeah, I agree with you that we must fix our system in Indonesia, because as I know, in South Korea, when they are a farmer, they can become very rich even though they are only farmer. But here in Indonesia, farmer they must working hard for them, and they must fight so many things that they should not fight. For example, sorry for a little corruption in the farmer in the government. So yeah, that's the situation. But at least you have and you contribute for the farmer in Indonesia. So thank you very much. And there's a question from participant, Mr. Irham. This one from Arbianti. Dear Prof, I have a question. As we know, in Indonesia, rural farmer in Indonesia live in poverty. But in the other side, farmer has an impact for enhanced regional economy. So, what the best governance policy to help improve welfare of farmer, considering their crucial role in Indonesia agricultural development? Thank you, Prof.
Well, thank you. It's on Ms. Arbianti.
Yes.
For your questions, for your challenging questions. Well, yeah, of course, there should be two different approaches to overcome this kind of problems. One is through the policy from the government to reduce poverty. How? Of course, through the improvement of the agricultural productivity by using appropriate technology, including digital technology. And then the second one, through the empowerment of the farmers, not only by the government, but also any stakeholders who has, you know, who have capability to help the farmers. And then the other ways is we need to do continuing research in the village area, the trend of the production, the trends of the productivity in the village areas, so that we can improve the performance of the agricultural systems in the village area. And of course, there are so many approaches, but at least one is through the policy from the government in eradicating the poverty, and at the same time is increasing the agricultural productivity in the rural areas. And then the second one is through the empowerment of the farmers, through education, of course, and more specifically, informal education or non-formal education. And then the third one is through research, research in several ways. For example, from the scientists, university scientists, and also research collaborations with local young farmers, generations. Okay. That's all I can say.
Okay. And this is Mrs. Arbi say thank you for the answer, Professor. Okay, you're welcome, Arbianti. And then is this the next question from Siti Martika Sari. She asks to you, dear Professor Irham, I have a question. As you resolve that the challenge integrating green education on young farmer is lack of motivation. It is 76.67%. So, how to increase young farmer motivation to be farmer? Because in the mind of the young people, farming is not profitable, and many of them do not want to become a farmers. Maybe it is just same question with me, but can you answer it, Mr. Professor Irham?
Yes, thank you, Siti. And yeah, the first thing is to change the farmer's mind. Yeah, to change the farmer's mind that agriculture is not profitable. Agriculture is a profitable it's a profitable job for them. Need to be socialized. And there are so many ways to do that. Like we can introduce some new technology, some new approaches to the farming system, so that they can firstly omit their minds that agriculture is not a profitable one. Okay, and then after that we then increase their motivations through many ways also. Like as I suggested before, that we can offer some kind of digital transformation approach to to do some more comprehensive approach to the farming system in the rural areas. Okay. Then we should study what is the main reasons why they are not motivated, why they are lack of motivations. There are so many, based on the studies, lack of funds and then lack of knowledge. That's why education to the farmers is very important in this case. Okay. So please be optimistic, because once the expert is not pessimistic, then the farmers will follow us to be pessimistic farmers, and I don't suggest that way. Okay. Any more questions?
Okay.
Thank you. I answered the questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ilham. And I just read that your paper is farmer succession in preserving and restoring agricultural ecosystem, and you said that use of pest and disease restricted plant varieties. So pest is very important as well, isn't it? Pesticida in Indonesia.
Yeah. There are some, farming system that we can avoid to use much pesticide on our farming, because the residue of the pesticides will harm our body and then cause negative cost to our health, not only to our health but also to the farmers themselves. So we need to, train the farmers to use more responsible use of pesticide and chemical. So when I ask the farmers for example, in West Java, they use only per hectare only 125 kg. Sorry, I a little bit forget the exact 125 kg. They use TSP 75 50 kg, and then they use 75 kg for NPK, something like that. So they use very minimum use of chemical fertilizer, and then the rest they use some compost, and the use of the straws. They put back the straws in the field, farming field. So they don't waste the straws. And I asked people from startup, technology startup, that I asked them to accompany me to create the machine that can, that can mile the straws to become more smaller particles, something like that. So we can put maybe as smallest one for this straw to be processed by using machines, so that they can be kind of fertilizer for the rice farming. Yeah, we still need innovation, though. We still need innovation.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Professor, for your answer and your presentation. It was very good, and we are so delightful that you participated in this event. We are so happy for that. Do you have some closing remark for today?
Yes, I think this conference is very useful, especially for the academicians, not only those who come from the university, but also from any different, fields, like from the research centers and also from the from non-academicians. And it needs to be continued for the next round. This is the second conference, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It is
yeah.
for the third one.
Yeah.
And with widespread information for the groups. So we hope that the participants not only from the local Indonesians but also from many different countries, so that this conference become prestigious conference in the future. And this is my opportunity to share with you all. And I hope that UTP will be a great university in the future. Thank you, especially the Faculty of Agriculture. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, and we wish you a very healthy and happy for you and your family. Thank you, Professor. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, now we are continuing to our next schedule, and before we start to continue, we shall watch some music for Tunas Pembangunan University videos and the ASEAN as one. Here we are. Okay, some little bit technical problems, so we are going to waiting. Okay, this is the ASEAN as one.
ASEAN way is caring. ASEAN way is sharing. No matter the distance between us, ASEAN still unites as one. Our hearts tight to keep us fight as one. No harm can defeat us, no pain can frighten us, since we are always one.
Harmony is what we believe in, no one will be left behind, so we can fly as one, blow our love to the sky, since we are always one.
Let's share ASEAN still unite as one. Let's share our spirits to heal the world. Let our consonants speak out loud. Let the light from the east shine through the clouds. ASEAN still unite as one. Our spirits to heal the world. Let our consonants speak out loud. Let the light from the east shine through the clouds. ASEAN still unite as one. Let's share our spirits to heal the world. Let our consonants speak out loud. Let the light from the east shine through the clouds. ASEAN still unite as one. ASEAN still unite as one. As a race caring, as a race sharing, ASEAN still unite as one. As a race caring, as a race sharing, ASEAN still unite as one. As a race caring, as a race sharing, ASEAN still unites as
Okay, as we continue into our event, the next speaker is Mr. Asmi Mat MS. He is from University Technology Mara. So maybe I should introduce you in the campus first. This place is located in Shah Alam, Selangor. This campus was founded in November 1956, and it has students 40,000. Wow, that's a lot. 40,000 in the main campus, and then 80,000 in branch campus or in the regional campus. The story is it was 25 years that Institute Teknologi Mara changed the name into University Teknologi Mara, moving from 303 to 288 in academic reputation rank for QS World. Well, that's very high. And this campus has 19 branches, such as UITM in section 17, UITM in section Arau, UITM section in Sungai Petani, UITM section in Bukit Mertajam, and etc. And Mr. Asbimat is from Faculty of Business and Management. He is focused in sustainable consumption, consumer behavior, consumer complaint behavior, and service quality. And there are several research that we have on about him is number one, determining the income difference and complaint behavior among automobile repairs and service consumer in Shah Alam, Malaysia. Number 2, the influence of public commuter satisfaction toward MRT or mass rapid transportation service among Kuala Lumpur riders, a PLS same approach. And number 3, hubungan antara operasi perkhidmatan dengan prestasi Tentara Darat Malaysia or TDM. Okay, that's all about Mr. Asmismat and about this university. So please welcome Mr. Asmima. Hello, Mr.
Hi, hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Let me share my screen first.
Okay. How are you, Mr.?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. I'm great.
Very healthy today?
Yes. Excited to share the knowledge on the SST actually. Can you see my slide on your screen?
Yeah, I can see that.
All right.
Okay, so you can start and the time is yours.
All right. Thank you very much, the Mr. Moderator. So basically, I'm Azmi Bemal. I'm from University Teknologi Mara in Malaysia, from the Faculty of Business and Management. Specifically, I'm located or work with the Department of Entrepreneurship and Marketing Studies. So my focus research is on the social sciences, which is I focus more on the consumer behavior studies like complaint behavior, sustainable consumption behavior, and also the service quality. So before I start with the sharing session, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone to the Second International Conference on Economy, Education, Technology and Environment 2024, organized by the Universitas Tunas Pembangunan, Indonesia. It is an honor to be here today, all right, surrounded by such an incredible gathering of talented and passionate individuals. So we have two plenary speakers just now, and I would like also to take this opportunity to express my utmost appreciation to UTP for inviting me to share my knowledge. So without further ado, let's dive and make the most of our time together. All right. So the topic for today is basically empowering the future, the role of self-service technology, SST, in enhancing the customer experience. So I will focus more on the consumer behavior aspect or social behavioral science, how the technology can help actually for us to achieve our shared prosperity vision on the SDGs by 2030. All right, so as for the introduction, creating imperative customer experience and transforming that customer experience journey into a successful service quality strategy is one of the paramount priorities of today's business environment, not only for the businesses, but also for the universities. Means that we have to create the memorable environment to make sure that the students are enjoying themselves, learning at the university, all right? And for the business, of course, they need to provide the best customer experience in order to generate income and making profit, all right? Because by having the customers, companies are able to, of course, generate the profit. At the same time, companies can guarantee to pay for the salary wage, employees' wages and salaries. All right, that's the power of the customer. That's why most of the companies nowadays are committed to provide the best consumer experience, for example, to their customers, and creating a long-lasting customer service, strong customer experience journey is way to survive. Improving customer experience can be the answer for many companies to stand out in the crowd, because sometimes most of the companies are basically selling quite similar products. For example, telco companies, so they are selling or providing or offering the maybe internet services, all right, or data services. So most of the companies are providing the same. So what makes they different from their competitors are the service or customer experience that they can provide to the customers to make sure that customers are really satisfied with their service provided, as they trade in competitive environments with increasing customers' expectations. Nowadays, we do not only compete with the companies or with the business within the same country, but we also basically competing with the company globally or internationally. All right. For example, in Malaysia nowadays, Shopee is one of the most used um, digital platform when customer would like to buy the items or the products. All right, they might use the Shopee, but now Shopee do not only consist of the seller from Malaysia, but also they have seller from Indonesia, China, and over the world that can sell the products to all the customers. All right. So that's why the company or the business must create the best customer experience to their customers. All right. So in order to make the best customer experience to the customers, all right. So most of the companies are shifting from the traditional way of doing business to the leveraging on the technological advancement. All right. So nowadays you may have the mobile apps is keep growing, the kiosk whereby they encourage the customers to be part of the product or service delivery. All right. Like last month I went to Jakarta. All right. So I purchased the train ticket from Traveloka. So I have to redeem at the station at Gambir station in Jakarta by using the kiosk. The kiosk is part of the co-production whereby the customers are involving in the product or service delivery. All right. So businesses are also allowing customers to make online complaint and express their dissatisfaction. Last time, you may complain using the company's web page or websites, all right? Or sometimes you may also write an email to the company to express your dissatisfaction or maybe to ask about of any questions to the companies. But now, with the advancement of the social media, we have like Facebook, X application, and also we have TikTok. So most of the companies are leveraging on these particular social networking sites, and then they also create an account in order to get closer with the customers, and customers can easily comment to their page on the social networking sites, and then if there is any issues regarding the product or services, the companies will actually entertain their complaint or their inquiries on the social networking site. So this also will be the part of the co-production whereby the companies are encouraging and allowing the customers to complain on the website or social networking site. So next is SST or self-service technology is part of the co-production or co-creation. All right. So what is self-service technology? Actually, we as a customers, we are using the SST on our daily basis. Maybe we are not familiar with the term, but we are actually using it on daily basis. All right. For example, later on, I will share the types of the SST. So before moving to the types of SST, I would like to share about the definition of SST. So at least we have a clear picture what SSTs is all about. So SSTs are defined as technologies that can enhance consumers' ability to produce a service independently according to Mutter, Orser, Roundtree, and Bittner 2000. Whereby when we have the SST, all right, actually will save the company. All right, means that you can save on the company cost. All right, no need to pay for the salary because the technology can replace the human, all right, to do the maybe more sophisticated jobs. At the same time, customer cannot blame the company if they make the mistake. For example, when we use the online banking, all right, so you are supposed to transfer the money to customer A, all right, but you wrongly key in maybe the account number, all right. So in this case, you cannot blame the bank because it's your mistake or your negligence to put or key in the wrong account number. It same goes to when you decide maybe to purchase the flight ticket, all right? So you go to the mobile apps of the airlines, for example, maybe AirAsia Indonesia, all right? But you wrongly key in maybe the destination. You are supposed to be fly from maybe Bali to KL to Kuala Lumpur, but you purchase the wrong destination or direction. You purchase from Kuala Lumpur to Bali. All right. So in this case, you cannot blame the company because you are the one who purchased the ticket. But last time, all right, maybe in 1990s, the only way you can buy the flight ticket, you need to go to maybe to travel agent, all right, and then or you maybe go to the ticketing sales office. So in this case, when the mistake happened, you can blame the companies because you ask the company to purchase on your own. But in this case, when we have the SSTs and also we are employing the co-production, all right, you cannot blame the company if you make the mistake. So SST can improve the delivery process, meet the service standards, according to Talion, Harman, and 2019, and also can provide more services for customers, such as location convenience. For example, like I mentioned just now, when you buy from maybe Shopee, all right, you can buy from anywhere. The seller might be in Indonesia, the seller might be in China or mainland China, the seller might be in Malaysia. All right. So location is very convenient, and also the price is quite cheaper as compared you buy at the physical store. All right. That also can be the attraction for the customer to make decision, because as a customers, we are encouraged or we are more likely to buy, all right, if we can see that the price is very cheap or less expensive. All right. So as a customers, or you must do the comparison in terms of the price, in terms of the maybe a delivery time. All right. Even though the price might be the same when you buy from the online platform or digital platform, but the quality might be different, and also the time for courier services also might be different. So as a customer, you can differentiate or do a comparison. Efficient output and also joyfulness, according to Wei, Torres, and Juan, 2017. All right. So moving on to the next slide. Okay, what is customer experience? Before this, we only talk about the customer satisfaction, all right? Or maybe customer dissatisfaction. So now CX or customer experience is a new or buzzwords in consumer behavior studies or marketing studies. So the term of customer experience basically, or customer experience management, are receiving increasing attention in both the academic and managerial literature. Even the industry, the companies have shifted from the customer service department or client management department to the customer experience management department, all right? Because they value about the customer experience. That's why the companies try very hard or committed or very delighted or dedicated to actually providing the best memorable customer experience. That's why as the education provider, the university, all right, we try to provide the best facilities to the students in terms of the maybe the computer labs or science lab, all right, all the facilities like sports facilities, gymnasium, stadium, or maybe the sport hall or sports event, in order to make sure that after graduates, the students can still memorize about the best experience that they had in our campus or in our university. All right, that is in the context of the university, or in the context of the hospitality, maybe hospital or hotel management or tourism management. We are trying to provide the best memorable customer experience. All right, some hotel might use the maybe special perfumes in order to make sure that customer can memorize. And in the future, for example, when customer smell that kind of scents, they still remember your hotel, for example. All right. And now, if you can see that most of the restaurant or coffee shop, they are focusing on the ambience, they are upgrading the environment because Gen Z or Generation Z, all right, are were more likely to go to the cafes, not only to enjoy the food. The taste of the food is doesn't matter, but they are focusing more on the ambience and also the environment, because at the end of the day, they will keen or will more likely to share about their experience with that particular restaurant or cafe on the social media, on TikTok, maybe Facebook, Instagram, and X application, and then to show to their followers and friends on the social media networking sites. All right. So basically, customer experience or CX is about managing customer interactions in satisfying manner with the brand or company. All right. It also will reflect your brand reputation. All right. So like in Malaysia, we have the our own airline, all right, which is Malaysia Airlines. So Indonesia, we maybe have the Garuda Airlines, all right. Last time we have Malindo, now we have Batik Air, all right. So in order to ensure that, because like airlines, Malindo and AirAsia, for example, they are providing the same services, all right. So what makes the difference? Maybe they can offer the best, memorable customer experience that may help them to position their company, all right, to be competitive and to be better than their competitors. The concept of superior customer experience as an evolution of the concept of creating positive perceptions and willingness to customs minds towards a product or service with goals of achieving long-term benefit. So in business, we also need to sustain the business for a long term. All right, like company, I think most of us are familiar with the company like Toyota, Honda, maybe Volkswagen, Mercedes. They exist for quite numbers of years, which is maybe in 1960s, 1950s, and then they still exist until now, because these companies are really focused on the service quality. All right, about the quality of the product that they produce. They also focusing on the customer needs. All right, customer needs. When we talk about the customer needs, expectation, wants are always evolving, always keep changing due to the rapid technological changes, due to the economic changes and environmental changes as well. Nowadays or today, we are actually facing with the or dealing with the climate change, the sustainability issues, and sometimes we face with the bad or poor air pollution index. All right. So because of that, and then in the first plenary session just now, we learned about the rice that can help to uh, actually reduce or help the diabetic person, right? So nowadays, consumer are also healthy concern or health conscious. They want to eat or consume something that very healthy. That's why most of the companies or supermarket now are selling the supplement food or organic food, because the demand is very, very high, because the consumers are really focusing on the health. All right. And also the gymnasium, because they are more focusing on the fitness. All right. For example, in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur itself, many gymnasium has been open. All right, because the demand is very, very high, because people are concerned about the healthy lifestyle. All right. So that will be the turning point as well on how we can on how the customer needs and wants are changing, and then the companies can use or take this opportunity to create the best customer experience of their customers. All right. So these are the example of self-service technology that the industry that start to embed or leveraging the use of the self-service technology. All right. I think most of us are familiar with the Industrial Revolution 4.0, and now we are moving forward to IR 5.0. All right. And then the self-service technology are actually being practiced or being employed or implemented by the education industry, FMB industry, investment or finance and banking industry, and also hospitality industry. In education, for example, we have the online learning platform, all right? But during the COVID-19 in 2020, when the COVID-19 hit us, all right? So we can't actually avoid from the COVID-19, all right? So in that year, most of the universities or maybe college are focusing on the online learning, all right? That at that time, we are using the Zoom application, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, all right? And also most of the universities are developing of their own e-learning platform in order to support the students, all right, to access for the education, all right? Because in SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, one of the goals is to provide the quality education. In F&B industry, nowadays, you can order the food using the Food Panda in Malaysia. I don't know in Indonesia they have Food Panda or not, but I believe that in Indonesia, you have the Grab, all right? You have the Grab for transportations. You have also Grab for food, to ordering food as well. The same in Malaysia, all right? And then with that mobile application, it also a part of the self-service technology investment. In Malaysia, we have the, like a Wahid application. You have Rais, whereby you would like to invest your money, all right, you no longer need to go to the bank, or you no need longer to meet the broker or reminder to invest the money, but you can do on your own using the mobile apps, and then the apps will analyze the risk, whether you are a high risk taker, moderate or low risk taker. So they will invest your money accordingly to your to which group that you fall in. All right. If you maybe a high risk taker, so they will invest your money into the high risk investment. All right. Of course, high risk, high return, low risk, low return. All right. The banking industry also, whereby nowadays we are using the online banking. All right. You have mobile apps. Last time we only need to withdraw the money maybe at the bank, at the counter, and then the bank have the ATM machine, automated teller machines, all right? And then they have shifted to the websites for the internet banking. And now we can just use the mobile apps. And now due to the advancement of the technology, you can also use the QR code. You can just scan to transfer the money or to make the payment, all right? In Malaysia, we have the apps like Do It Now, whereby you can just transfer the money, not only using the account number, but you also can use the mobile phone number and also the ID number, all right? The identity card number. You also can send the money to your friends or to your family members, all right? These are the example of all types of SST that are available. Like I mentioned earlier, we have mobile apps, ATM machines, and also we have self-checkout kiosks. For example, when you buy something from McDonald's, for example, or maybe KFC, they have the self-checkout kiosk whereby the customer can buy from the kiosk, all right, the meals that you want. So by having this kind of technology, you are actually helping the company to reduce the numbers of employees. By reducing the numbers of employees, you are able to reduce the cost of production, all right? When you can reduce the cost of production, so you can focus more your employees to do more sophisticated job, all right? And also you have the like self check-in kiosk in the airport, for example, when you would like to fly from maybe Jakarta to Malaysia, instead of check-in at the counter, you also can print the luggage tag and also boarding pass at the kiosk. All right, and then you can actually manage your luggage tag on your own, and then you can drop the luggage at the conveyor belt, for example. All right. Like I mentioned earlier, last month, I went to Indonesia. So I'm very proud that Indonesia already have the WUSH, which is kereta api cepat, if I'm not mistaken. They call it WUSH as kereta api cepat because it took about 20 to 25 minutes from Bandung to Jakarta or Jakarta to Bandung, as compared to the old train, which is managed or organized by um, Kereta Api Indonesia, KAI. All right, that took about 2 hours 45 minutes or 3 hours. All right, so I bought the ticket using the mobile apps of the WUSH, and then I need to actually redeem the ticket at the or self checkout kiosk at the train station at Padalarang in Bandung, if I'm not mistaken, to go to Halim in Jakarta. All right. Same goes to when I bought a ticket in Traveloka. All right. I need to redeem the ticket in Station Gambir in Jakarta. All right. And then I have to key in the passport, the booking number, the passport details. Then only I can print the boarding pass and then can ride a train to from Jakarta to Bandung. All right. So I think most of us are familiar with this kind of technology. So these technologies are basically named or known as SST. And the e-learning, of course, we as educators in the university, all right, we are using this on our daily basis, all right, for teaching and learning, for maybe to give the assessment, to conduct the test, or even final exam, we can use the e-learning nowadays, all right. So have you ever heard about robo-advisor? So most of the companies nowadays, instead of you have human, all right, to answer the question that will be asked by the customers, all right. Maybe last time we have the FAQs on our website. Now we are actually transforming the FAQ from the words into the robo-advisors. What is robo-advisors is you program like a robot, all right, to answer all the possible question that might be asked from the customers. All right, company that use robo-advisor in customer service, such as AirAsia, all right, they have the robo-advisor called Ava Advisors, and in Malaysia also CIMB. Yeah, so in Indonesia we call maybe CIMB Niaga. All right, but the parenting company in Malaysia known as CIMB, they also use the robo-advisor actually to help the customers to answer the questions, or maybe to solve a specific problem programmed by the customers, by the companies. And also Zalora, the Asian fashion expert, which is the platform for digital or online shopping. All right, very famous in Malaysia as well. And then basically, these companies are leveraging on the robo-advisor. But what are the drawbacks of the robo-advisor is that the robo-advisor or the virtual assistants cannot answer all questions that may be outside of their jurisdiction. But if you talk to the human, all right, even though the question might be beyond their control, but at least they can suggest for you to call a specific number, to email the specific number. But when you use the robo-advisor, it can't be the same. All right, they cannot recommend you the right channel to maybe lodge a complaint, or the right channel or the right person for you to ask the questions. That is the drawbacks, but it will help the company maybe to reduce the waiting time. All right, because sometimes when we call the contact center to ask the questions, it will may take some time for the customer to get to talk to the customer service advisors or to talk to the customer service representative. All right, maybe the line is too busy on that particular day, and then the call volume is very high, and then you may not be able to talk to the customer service representative within the time frame, for example. That's why the companies are developing the robo advisors in order to ensure that they have a lot of channel for the customer to ask. All right, and now and then when the company have a lot of channel, all right, in marketing we call as the omni channel, where the companies do not rely only on the one channel, but the companies basically using multiple channel. All right, you can talk to the company via maybe WhatsApp or Telegram, all right, or maybe through Facebook, X application, email, contact center, Instagram, and also TikTok. All right, so the best robo advisor for July 2024, this one, the 10 robo advisor for investment. All right, okay, for example, you would like to invest your money, all right, but for sophisticated investors. So therefore, you can go for M1 Finance, all right? And then you are women, and then you would like to invest your money. The best robo advisors for women investors are EV or Elvas, all right? Best for mobile, X-Trade from Morgan Stanley. If you would like to invest in education, for example, so the best robo advisor for education investment is Merrill, a Bank of American company. All right. Have you ever heard about ChatGPT? So I believe that most of us are familiar with the ChatGPT. We can use the ChatGPT, but we must be smart. All right. Do not accept exactly the same as what as ChatGPT produce the output. All right. You must use also your brain actually. All right. Maybe to paraphrase the sentence, because sometimes all the information from ChatGPT is not right. So you have to validate with the maybe research papers. All right, or any other databases. All right. So I believe that most of the students nowadays are using the ChatGPT to make their assignments, to make their tasks, all right, given by their lecturers or educators. All right. And also we have the online digital platform like Shopee, Tokopedia. For gig economy, we have maybe Foodpanda, and also Grab. All right. But in Malaysia, for Grab, we don't have the Gojek. Okay. In Indonesia, I'm very happy that when the traffic jam is very terrible, all right, very congested or macet, so at least the customer has the option whether want to ride with the mobile, all right, a car, and also with the Gojek. All right. So this is very helpful. It can help to save the customers time as well. All right. So I'm very happy when I was in Jakarta because the macet is very terrible after office hour. And if I'm not mistaken, on Wednesday is the Genap Ganjil. So that day I booked the Grab, all right, and then all the Grab cancel my order because on that day, if I'm not mistaken, only mobile with Ganjil plate number can enter into the Jakarta city. All right, so that's good. That's how Indonesia try to manage the traffic jam as well, and also try to manage the air pollution as well in the Jakarta city. All right. And then common theory used to measure customer willingness to use SST. So basically, when we conducting a research that related to measure the customer willingness to use the maybe technology, to use maybe the mobile apps, all right, to use the e-pay, for example. So most of the common theory used in order to measure customer willingness are the TAM, or theory technology acceptance model, a revised version of the theory of reason action, TRA, and also TPB, that measure on the customer intention to use and also the actual behavior. So two indicators that normally being measured are perceived usefulness and also perceived ease to use. All right. So what is technology acceptance model? So basically, TAM is considered the most influential and commonly employed theory for describing an individual acceptance of information systems. So TAM assumes that an individual's technology acceptance is determined by perceived of use and also perceived easy of use. All right. Perceived usefulness is can be defined as measured by individual response to learn value, social value, and individual development, whereby the perceived ease of use is measured by individual responses to show easy and simple it was for the individual to use the technology, to analyze or to evaluate whether or not customers think or feel that that technology is easy to use or very complicated to use. Of course, for young generation, all right, they are very familiar with the technology. For baby boomers, for example, or generation X, all right, they might be not IT savvy. So they might be IT illiterate, and then they might be reluctant to use the technology. So they still prefer the conventional way of doing business, purchase at the counter, pay at the counter instead of using the more online banking or using the self-checkout machines. All right. Okay, now let's talk about the SST and its relation with SDG. Like I mentioned earlier, we have the 17 goals in SDGs. But in this sharing session, I would like to share about the SST and its related to the SDG, with SDG number 8, number 9, number 10, and also number 11 and number 12. All right. So what is SDG? I think most of us are well versed with the SDG. SDG is the goal that United Nations have developed. All right, the members of the United Nations have developed in 2015, whereby all the countries need to contribute to the shared prosperity vision by the end of 2030. All right, to reduce the emission of the maybe greenhouse or carbon, and also to help to reduce or to combat to the climate change as well. All right, that's why most of the companies basically producing the recycled products or producing the eco-friendly products that can help to reduce the harm to the environment. All right. So number one, decent work and economic growth, the goal number 8, SST and economic growth. Businesses can operate more efficiently by automating routine tasks, reducing costs, and increasing productivity. This efficiency allows companies to reallocate resources towards innovation expansion, creating new job opportunities. Okay, nowadays we are also talking about the social entrepreneurship, whereby we empowering the local communities. All right. So in 2019, just before COVID, I went to Universitas Erlangga in Surabaya, if I'm not mistaken, for a program that called as Asia Uninet. All right. That program is, I think, is very good, whereby all the educators and the students will be exposed with the local communities that produce the I think bakau, all right, and also kerang in Surabaya, near to the Universitas Erlangga, all right, whereby we help the local communities to actually to promote their products and to promote their local tourism. All right. So at that time, not only participants from Malaysia, they also have participants from Yemen, from Japan as well. All right. To study about the local communities in order to enhance and boost about their social entrepreneurship. Means that by having that local products, they can also provide the eco-tourism of that particular community that will help to actually generate the income, help the community to gain more income by having the tourism activities at that particular area. All right. While there is concern on SST might lead to job displacement, it can also generate demand for new skill sets, particularly in technology development, maintenance, and customer support. All right, if we can see from the trend of the job, most popular job in 2024, all right, so students who graduated in IT, for example, or information or data analytics are really, really high in demand. That is why the technology and can help to basically generate the demand for the new skill sets that align with the Industrial Revolution 5.0. All right. Next is industry innovation and infrastructure, goal number 9. By integrating advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, machines learning, and the Internet of Things, IoT, SST solutions enhance service delivery and customer experience, whereby you can also last time when the courier services send your parcel, when you order from Shopee, for example, or maybe you order from the food delivery, you cannot see the duration, how many it takes, how long it takes for your item to be arrived. Now, when you order Grab, for example, maybe from Tangerang to Jakarta, for example, you can see on your apps how long the journey will take. So at least you can advise your friends to wait until how many long they have to wait you to be arrive at that particular destination. When you're shopping online, at least you can see on the apps how long your item will be delivered by the customers or by the companies or by the courier services. For example, smart kiosks and chatbots use AI to provide personalized assistance and resolve issues promptly. All right. And then SST also can reduce inequalities. SST can potentially reduce inequalities by making service more accessible. All right. Because we need to ensure that, like education is accessible to everyone. So in Malaysia, in order to ensure that everyone can access to the education, we are actually developing the MOOC, which is called as Massive Open Online Source. All right, so everyone can access the education in Malaysia. All right, traditional service delivery method often face barriers such as geographic location, operating hours, and staffing limitation. For example, customer service now operating 24/7. You can reach the companies at any time, anywhere you want. SST can also overcome these barriers by providing 24/7 access to service through digital platforms. For instance, online banking and mobile apps allow customers or individuals in remote areas to access financial services without needing physical branches, provided that you have a better internet connection. All right. If you don't have the better internet connection, it will be the same. You still cannot access. That's why, in order to reduce the inequalities, nowadays internet connection or internet connectivity are very important. All right. To actually to bridging or close the gap between the rural areas, suburban areas, and also urban areas. All right. SST can be designed to accommodate diverse use needs, including those of people with disabilities. All right. Next is sustainable cities and communities. SST and sustainable cities and communities. SST can contribute to the development of sustainable cities and communities. For example, again, the self-service kiosk in public transportation, like I mentioned just now, KAI, all right, and also the WUSH in Indonesia, system streamline ticketing process. But they also, instead of having the self-ticketing kiosk, they also providing the normal counter, all right? Because sometimes maybe the customer still do not familiar with the kiosk or service ticketing kiosk. At least they can have option, all right? Even though they have that particular counter, all right, but the counter no longer like the old style of customer service, all right? Means that they still use the numbering system, all right, or the e-ticketing for queuing system, and so on and so forth. Can help to reduce the congestion and improving the efficiency of the public transit. All right. And also SST in public services, for example, such as libraries. Libraries also can use the SST by the customers or the users can borrow the book using the via online platform, or customer just can drop the book at the machines, for example. All right. And government office also moving towards the operational digitalization, all right, the enhanced service delivery while minimizing the need for physical infrastructure. For example, like now, last time we might store the file documents in one room, so it will take maybe 1 to 2 rooms for storage. But now we have the cloud computing, like maybe iCloud, Google Storage, or Google Storage, all right, to store all the information, or Google Drive, all right, to store all the informations, and then it can be shared to the people all over the world without need to sending the physical file or documents, all right. Last but not least is SST and responsible consumption. SST can also promote responsible consumption. So like I mentioned earlier, my focus of the study is about the SDG 12, that to promote or focusing on the responsible or sustainable consumption behavior, all right, by optimizing resource use and reducing waste, all right. That's why if you go to Alphamart, for example, or Indomaret, all right, you need to purchase the recycled bags, all right, because the Indomaret or Alphamart also actually are promoting the sustainable consumption behavior, all right, because plastic is the non-biodegradable, and then it can harm the environment. That's why you can still have the grocery bag, but with the recycled version 1. All right. So we have to educate the customers to use the recycled bag in order to reducing the waste and also to combat the climate change. SST systems can provide real-time data or consumption patterns, helping businesses manage inventory better and reduce overproduction. In retail, for example, for checkout system can be integrated with inventory management software to ensure optimal stocks level. All right. For example, you buy in Shopee, also you can see how many products sold, how many product available in stock now, for example. Thereby, you can also minimizing the waste. These practices support sustainable consumption and production pattern as advocated by SDG 12, that focusing on the responsible consumption and production. All right. So I think in the first plenary session, all right, we also learned about the 3 pillars of the sustainability that very intercorrelated or interrelated. Social, which is environment, economic, and social as well. All right. For environmental, we need to actually reduce the use of natural resource. All right. That's why now we have the meat, okay, daging that made by the plant base. All right. Last time meat is made maybe from sapi or lembu, we call it in Malaysia. All right. But now we have the plant-based meat in produce at the restaurant, for example, or when you eat steak. All right. You also have the plant-based steak. All right. And for the economic, we focus on the profit, cost saving, economic growth, research and development. For social, for social means we have the social responsibility to make sure that the future generation can still have this earth, all right? Because the earth, actually, we are inherit from our ancestors that we borrow from the future generations, all right? So we have to return the world or the earth to the new or future generation, all right? Okay. Relationship among sustainability, consumption, the environment, and economic and social as affected in the 3 pillars of sustainability. The concept of sustainability appears to continue to influence future discourse. Nearly everything humans do or plant on the earth has direct and indirect implications for the environment, economy, or society, as this affects the continued existence of and well-being of the human race. And then the numbers of population in this world are expected to increase. All right. So we have to consume sustainably, produce or consume the eco-friendly products, less harm to the environment, and always bring your own grocery bag when you do the grocery shopping. That is the least that we can do in order to protect the environment or to protect the earth, all right, or to protect the mother nature. But the challenges that we are facing in SST, number one is technological divide, all right, because not all people can access the technology. It might be due to the geographic location, all right. It may be due to the urban, suburban, and also rural area, all right. IT literacy, not all consumers are having maybe a smartphone, all right. Not all places can access the internet, for example. In terms of safety and security, there are still people don't believe in online banking because of the security and safety issues. Replacement of human jobs. We are worrying that the technology will replace the human jobs. By having the technology, the human will lose jobs. All right, the technology will replace the human jobs, and customers still need the human touch. There are still customers that need to talk with the human, because only human understand human, only human that have the sense of empathy. All right, so empathy is very important when we're dealing with a human. You can express your maybe feelings to understand the customer's experience and situation. You have to put yourself into the customer's shoes. But technology, they don't have the feelings, they don't have the empathy, all right, towards the customers. All right. Okay, so I think that's all for my sharing session. All right, for research collaborations, you may contact this email if you interested to collaborate for the consumer behavior studies. All right. So with that, I pass the floor to the moderator for the next session.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rasmi. It is very nice of you that you use so many Indonesian brands to your presentation, such as
Because I live in Indonesia.
yeah, Garuda, Batik Air, and Woost. And you were asked, is this Woost and at Padalarang, Bandung? Yes, it is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Jakarta to Bandung, we can use a fast train. It is called Woost.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Asmi, it is a question, but I'm sorry that we have a limitation time, but and you can answer it, but not more than, I'm sorry, not more than 10 minutes. This is a question from Mrs. Ati Lucia.
All right.
Dear Prof. Asmi, I want to ask about the application of SST. If SST is applied to young people, it will be easy, but it will be difficult to old people. So what is the strategy so that older people can apply SST quickly and easily? Thank you. That's the question. Yeah.
Thank you for that questions. All right. Such a good questions. Because I'm teaching in customer service or service management at my university. So basically, businesses are facing the difficult customer. Difficult customer can be the young customers, customer with disabilities, and also the older customers that are not familiar with the technologies. So the one thing that we can do in order to encourage the older generation or maybe baby boomers to use the technologies, we have to educate them. So we have to educate about the technologies. I think but I believe that most of the older customers are also using the Facebook. All right. As young customers have shifted to the Instagram, to TikTok. All right. So we may use the Facebook as the main platform to educate the older generation as well to use the technology, or we still can have the conventional way to do the business, but we can use the small incremental steps. Sedikit demi sedikit, we educate the customer, maybe from the counter services, and then we try to ask them to download the apps, and then we try to educate them to use the apps. I believe that they will love to use the mobile apps, all right, because they don't have to use or to go to the office or to the bank premise to do the business. Now they can access their account using the mobile apps or web pages. I hope that I answer that particular questions.
Okay, that's a very fast and very good answer. This is a second question, but we cannot proceed. This from Mrs. Kurniawati Tanamaningrum. Maybe do you want to answer or not, Mr. Asmi?
Pardon?
Do you want to answer this question, the second question, because the time is almost over?
All right, let me read first.
Okay. This from Mrs. Kurniawati, and she asked that about the robot and AI for service. Can is efficient enough to increase the customer satisfaction in complaint service?
Oh yes, I think there are a lot of issues. Me as a consumer, I also don't like to talk with the robo advisor or robot. All right, because you can't understand what really I need. Or sometimes when you key in the wrong option, for example, you talk to the robo advisor, and then it's all about maybe halfway to solve the problems. But suddenly, when the robo advisor give you the option, you wrongly key in the wrong option. For example, you want to change the date of your travel, and then suddenly you click on the wrong option, so you have to start all over again the conversation. So number one is very time consuming, all right? But if you use the robot at the restaurant in Malaysia, there are few restaurants that use the robot to send the food to the customers. So you order the food from the mobile application, so later the restaurant will set the robot to send the food at your table. That one will be good because you can ask your employees to do the more sophisticated jobs, and then you also can reduce the operational cost on paying the salary of the employees. So I hope that I answered the second question as well.
Okay, thank you very much. It is fast again. Sorry for your rush over this that we had. Hey, we have.
No problem.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Asmi, for your time for today. We wish that next year maybe there are a representative as well from University Technology of Mara to our international event. And we would like to say thank you very much for you and for your time. And I want to say Tahniah Malaysia. Okay, thank you. Do you have a closing remark, Mr. Asmi?
Maybe one simple words. I would once again I would like to say thank you to UTP and also Miss Dina, all right, that contacted me to invite me to this very successful conference. I really hope that I can be maybe I can in the future in the next year, if we have the third international conference, I hope that I can meet all of you in person in Surakarta, maybe, inshallah.
Amin, amin. Okay, thank you very much, and maybe see you again next year. Thank you, Mr. Asmi Matt.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day, everyone.
Okay, now we are going to continue our event. This is almost a break session. To the, every participant, I have to tell you that we are going to start again in 12:30. So we are going to have a break session, and we are going to separate into 6 parallel rooms, and they are: 1, economy, by the moderator Mrs. Kurniawati, and number 2, economy. The moderator is Mrs. Mutiara, and number 3, education by Mrs. Diah Nurhidayati, and the 4th room is education by Mr. Irawan, and the 5th room is technology by Mrs. Widyanita, and the 6th room is environment by Mrs. Arbianti. So please remember that every presentation is going to be English, and you have to show your best and show your PowerPoint, and we are going to choose the best presenter and the best speaker. And the announcement is will in group WhatsApp, so just check on the group of our WhatsApp of the participants, so you can see who is the champion or who is the winner for that TPC. Okay, once again, please remember that the end of the event is this evening, and we are going to start again at 12:30 Indonesian time and in West time, okay, or waktu Indonesia Barat. So that's it. That's all for today. After the parallel room, you can end the section, and we are very happy, that very pleased and very excited that you are joining to our event. So we are going to end with a video of Mr. Suswadi. He is the Vice Rector of Tunas Pembangunan University. So once again, what will I thank you very much. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To the excellent colleges, respected guests, and important stakeholders, as the second international conference on environment, technology, education, and the economy comes to an end, especially want to appreciate to all of the participants. The FUCA present significant challenges across various industries, including technology advancements, environmental conservation, and educational and economic disruption, which will significantly impact our future. Despite the difficulties, the idea of FUCA 2.0 has provided us with a useful framework for navigating this challenging environment. A sustainable future can be answered by implementing creative, adaptable, and resilient plans, collaboration between public and private sector, academia, and community is crucial for achieving golden Indonesia in the future. Thank you all for your valuable contribution. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
What comes to your mind hearing the word champion? Winner? Success? Or